It is Talking Transfers, it is the summer, so of course Talking Transfers is back. We are in the lovely surroundings of Glasgow and I'm having a coffee with Mark Jones from the Mirror. Mark, thanks so much for coming in to see us.
Oh, no worries, it's all good.
It's nice to talk transfers for you on a lovely sunny day.
Lovely, what a
day. In Liverpool. And when we booked this in, I thought maybe there might be a little bit more movement on the likes of Wirtz and Kirk, as it doesn't feel like they're any closer. There's been the internationals. I mean, there's still internationals going. Yeah. Like Wales played last night, hell of a game that one. Japan played tonight. Yeah. So there's still internationals going on. So there's a little bit maybe a hangover that there's this strange little window that shuts today, but then opens again on Monday, which doesn't sort of really affect Liverpool. But were you expecting a little bit more movement, or do you think it's one of those where once it starts happening, it'll happen very quickly?
Yeah, I think it's that. I was expecting more. I was expecting this kind of Club World Cup window to produce a bit more from some of the sides who are playing in that, and then that has a knock-on effect with other clubs as well, doesn't it? So it does feel as though a lot of things are getting closer and closer, and it's little incremental sort of updates that we're seeing. Certainly in the case of Wirtz, which, look, let's be honest, it's the biggest deal in Liverpool's history. I think it's going to be the fourth or fifth, perhaps biggest transfer ever, almost, you're talking. British record. These things don't get done overnight. So I think from everything we know at the minute, it's basically just tying up the last sort of contract elements and little bonuses and things like that. I think the key thing for me from the very start with all this is just how keen Leverkusen were to sell to Liverpool. I think that's been the key kind of reason for why there's been confidence almost on all sides for the past, what is it now, 2 or 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Feels longer, doesn't it? But
it feels longer,
doesn't it? It's going to be done because it's Leverkusen's interest to sell outside of Germany, i.e. Bayern Munich. And once Liverpool got to the front of the queue, it was clear that Wirtz wanted to move. So yeah, it'll get there. It'll get there. It's just a case of waiting, isn't it? And kind of checking every couple of hours and seeing how it's going.
Yeah, and it is patience, but I think it's important to remember just what a big sign of this is, and I'm glad that you brought that up, Mark, because things can feel like a saga very quickly, and there's people, a few funny things on sort of Twitter about it, and I get that, do you know what I mean? But I think like when it happens, listen, there'll be an element of relief, but there also needs to be a lot of excitement as well, and obviously that excitement will come the first time we see him pull on a shirt, and the pre-season games, when he's playing, it'll add an extra sort of probably 3 million views in terms of those games and things like that, because people will want to see him, Liverpool fans all around the world. But it is a huge signing, and you wrote something for the Mirror last couple of days about it being a sign of just how far Liverpool have come over the last 10 years, because listen, people like me think Liverpool are always the biggest club in the world, and why would anyone want to sign for anyone else? And that's a good way to be as a fan, really. But realistically, if you look at before Jurgen Klopp came in, which is the argument you make, Florian Wirtz isn't looking at Liverpool. He's looking at Real Madrid, City, Bayern Munich as his moves. Whereas now Liverpool's a destination because we're in so many Champions League finals, and because we are the champions of England, and because we've got this incredible squad of players who people want to play with. And that's been a journey, but it's a journey that it's worth reflecting on, which is what you've done in the article.
Yeah, I think it's worth reflecting on almost the shock at Bayern Munich about it as well. Like you're not used to having. He's been the best player in Germany for the last 2 years.
And they're used to taking the best players.
Bayern Munich sign that player, don't they?
Yeah.
He either plays for Bayern Munich already or they sign him. And it's so for Liverpool to sort of swoop in as they have. Yeah, for me it is a reflection on you go back to 10 years ago. You go back to when Klopp came and everything that's been achieved in that time. You think back to 10 years ago. I mean, it was the 6-1 to Stoke, wasn't it? It was around that time, and everything didn't quite feel like it does now. Liverpool weren't attracting the best players in the Premier League. They were having to perhaps overpay for some. To go and take the best player in Germany, and crucially for him to want it as well. It's not as if they've had to go all out. It's been from day one. It's been a mutual thing that they've wanted this. So yeah, I just thought it was good to reflect on how far it's come in that 10 years, and you look at when Klopp left, and all everyone was saying was, well, it's set up nicely to go forward. And I think this is a real show of Liverpool kind of punching their weight and almost showing that they believe they are in that top bracket of clubs in the world with Real Madrid, with Bayern Munich. Because sometimes I think they haven't acted like that, and they've almost found a pressure in that. So yeah, it's a transfer that should be celebrated when it goes through, and for me it just shows. And for all of this to happen off the back of the league title is it's in a remarkable. It puts the club in a remarkable position, I think.
YouTube, press the button, become a member of the Anfield Wrap from the heart of the city of Liverpool. The best way to enjoy all your Liverpool-based videos, everything you need, every single day. It is the Anfield Wrap.